Hey guys, and welcome back to Elden Ring. So, last time we had left off, we had just defeated the demigod of Limgrave, Godric the Grafted. What a battle. Really cool stuff. The game keeps getting better and better. I did feel a little bit bad about using the jellyfish summon to defeat Margit and Godric because it just really makes the game so much easier. In fact, I decided to run back through the game with a confessor character this time around. Now that I had pretty much experienced all of the things that a wretch playthrough is going to give me. Once I had gotten all the armor and the weapons that a confessor or an astrologer would already be capable of getting, there's not much more benefit to playing as a wretch, so to speak. And plus, this will help me kind of min-max my build a little bit. To go over what I did, you see, I'm 36 on this character. I was like 32, I believe, on the other, so we're pretty similar. I'm running on the other character. I had 18 vigor, 14 endurance. I got 16 and 13 here because I have 13 mind instead of like 11. I have 16 strength, the same as the other. I bumped my dex up to 24 and left my faith at 15 instead of I think we had like closing in on 20 on the other character because I'm trying to, as with the other character, it's basically the same. I'm running with a dexterity faith build. However, there is one specific weapon that I'm going to be trying to shoot for here that looks really cool. I was really interested in the flail, but it required a lot of dex, so I was really kind of about it. So in this case, I started as a confessor so I could have high dex and test it out, and I love this weapon. This weapon is amazing, fantastic, and there's actually a special flail that I watched a video of, actually, a double flail essentially. It's called the Knight Rider flail from a boss that you can get in the Weeping Peninsula. It requires 24 dexterity, but this is my weapon. This thing is so cool. I had to have it, and I felt that my character was not quite balanced properly for it as well, you know. So, like an idiot, I just decided to be a perfectionist and run through with a whole nother character. I apologize, I know that's probably a horrible thing to do in the middle of Let's Play. By the way, guys, I created a new character, but that's what happened. I did locate a small cave that had, this is the reward, the Crimson Amber Medallion, which gives you an extra like 32 to 35 or so HP. So it gives you kind of like an extra level of vigor without having it. So I'm fine at 16 rather than 18 because I effectively have more like 17. Other than that, I'm running pretty much a similar build. I got the brass shield. They did start me off with a heater shield, which is very nice, honestly. It's still a 100% physical block shield, but with only a 44 guard break, I still prefer the brass as long as I can carry it. Most importantly, however, there's a church in the peninsula that is right by the walking turtle mausoleum thing. I believe I just walked right past the gate to this, where there's a ruins and a church right near that you go down into the usual where ruins have like a little underground area, and it had this, a weapon called the Winged Scythe. This thing is amazing. This is the perfect weapon for a dexterity faith build like mine. I picked it up D in dexterity, D in faith, E in strength. So it scales pretty well for us for our 24-15 spread of dex and faith. It requires 16 strength, which we have, 16 dex, which I have, plus quite a bit more, but it requires 24 faith. So what I did was I rigged up the Flask of Wondrous Physic to give me faith and stamina, but I can also get strength from it as well. If I swap the stamina to strength, I can get plus 10 strength and plus 10 faith. That'll last about like 2.5, 3 minutes maybe or so. But once I'm able to wield it, I get 99 plus 17 and 119 plus 27. Which you get like two extra points for two-handing it, not really worth it. But this holy damage is fantastic. And it has this beautiful L2 attack. It jumps in the air, gives you a holy light buff as it jumps. Spreads angel wings everywhere, angel feathers. Has this beautiful design like wings. Lovely weapon. And apparently on certain enemies, this actually, including NPCs or invaders in PvP, will add a debuff, a Lloyd's Talisman or Hunter Charm type debuff that prevents the enemy from healing. So that is a fantastic addition. A great weapon for that. It has good range as a Scythe Reaper type weapon. The charge attacks are nice. The riposte effect has a very nice like head chopping, headhunter type move. Very cool thing. Other than that, I have pretty much all the same gear that I had before. I did pick up, let's see here. There's this bow that was in Siofra River. I don't recall if I grabbed this in the other character. It's not of any use to us anyway. It's an intelligence bow. I could get a couple more points and it might be worth it, but we'll see. I found this off of one of the random Weeping Peninsula guys. Different weapon, you know, just going through things that are new. I found an Uchigatana in a catacombs. I kind of went in there for a little bit. I was trying to particularly avoid places that I haven't been on the other character because I want to go through them. First reaction with everyone. But other than that, or there's the Shamshir, which is a curved sword. A few weapons that kind of dropped from enemies, you know, things that I can't help and such. As of now, the Flail +3 or the Wing Scythe +1. Those are my two options of weapons at the moment. And as with the previous videos, we're experimenting with the Black Flame Blade and the Black Flame Miracle, which I can actually confirm are quite effective versus bosses. Despite the Black Flame Blade being slow to apply, well, not too slow, but slow to last, I should say. The buff is very short, as you can see. You can actually, if you get it after a roll, it comes out quicker than if you didn't do that. You can see the casting time to swing without a roll versus with the roll is slightly faster. You get about 7.5 to 8.5 seconds of buff depending on if you're doing a roll or not. Those are both quite useful. The Black Flame, specific Black Flame Miracle, neither of these do I have enough faith for without using the flask, but as soon as I use the flask I can buff my character up to 24 or 25 faith, excuse me, and then I can use Black Flame. Black Flame and Black Flame Blade have a damage over time effect. So when you hit someone with a buffed Black Flame Blade weapon or you hit them with the Black Flame Fireball, it does seems to be percentage based, because if you hit an enemy with high HP like a boss, I tried this against Godric and it did wonders. I would start the battle off with chugging some black flames at him, and then I would, right when he would get to the point where he's going to chop his arm off and you have the opportunity to unload like a full health bar on him, I would roll, get that quick buff out, and get maybe 5 or 6 swings with the damage over time effect on there, which does like an extra 20 or 30 damage per swing that you get off on him. So it adds up. These are both very nice incantations, although they do use significantly more FP, 15 and 18 versus 11 for the regular Flame Sling. However, they are a worthy addition to our arsenal. With that said, however, here is the map right now. I did get to the Stella that shows me where the Weeping Peninsula is, and there's a couple other things that I've discovered and I've kind of just left alone for us to explore on our own once we get to that point. So now I believe I'm just going to enter into Liurnia of the Lakes, which is the next location after we leave Limgrave. So let's get to that. What is causing that? It's a little bit strange. I don't have any markers over there, but it's still showing a blue flame for some reason. Oh, and that's another thing. You might notice a bit of a difference in the quality of the graphics. This is the one other thing that I've been up to in the meantime. Ooh, a sacred tear, nice. I'm not sure, this should show up for you guys. You can see this is with the, it's a graphical mod, a reshade graphical mod. If anyone's interested in it, send me a comment, and then I'll link the mod link on from Nexus Mods. Seems to have a pretty nice effect without being very it's pretty lore friendly, so to speak. It's not really clashing with the lore aesthetic. I specifically turned off a lot of features of it to make sure that it's not too, it basically just makes things brighter but with a bit more pop to the colors, if that makes any sense. Especially if you look at things like this armor here, this knight armor. It gives it much more, the better lighting, you know, much more contrast. And I also increased the contrast on my monitor, which was strangely low for some reason. But that's the last of the things I can recall.
You're
See who you are.
Aren't you? Then perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Raya Lucaria. For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge.
Well, alright, 10 runes, that's nothing, yeah, sure.
Well, bless you, bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Topes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries, as promised. Only, none of them are particularly great.
This guy sounds like he has a combination of the voice actors for the Crestfallen Warrior in Dark Souls 1 and what is his name? The Welsh one. Aye, Shemai. His name escapes me. I'm having a brain fart moment here, but it seems almost like a combination of those two. The fact that he was based on a Welsh character is actually a really interesting detail, because Elden Ring has this very Celtic kind of style to it.
Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. Oh, right. I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit. You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Raya Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries. Only its doors have been closed for quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. A fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning.
Well, if it's any consolation, knowing the state that institutions tend to fall into when they seal themselves away from the world and from soft games, you, sir, may have just lucked out being shut out from what's going on in Raya Lucaria. You might have saved your life not being there. Wrong place, right time. Right place, wrong time, maybe. Right place, right time.
Why not find yourself a glintstone key? Without one, you can't pass through the Academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery, but still, My place is at the academy.
I really do feel bad for this guy. It's kind of sad. He admits that he has pretty low talent for his sorcery, but he's really dedicated. That's something, man. That's really something.
Find yourself a glint. Without one, you can't pass through the academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital.
Let's see what he has here. Glintstone Pebble. Fires magic projectiles from glintstone. Requires 10 intelligence. The most basic glintstone sorcery of the Academy of Raya Lucaria. The glintstone serves as a conduit, launching magical projectiles at foes. This sorcery can be cast repeatedly and while in motion. This is a universal first step on the journey to true knowledge of sorcery. Glintstone Arc. Fires a horizontal arc of magic that spreads outward. This sorcery can be cast repeatedly while in motion. Granted to sorcerers who depart from the academy to embark on journeys, in order to fend off large groups of would-be adversaries. Fools often roam in packs. Indeed they do. That I'm going to take that line. I'm stealing that. Fools often roam in packs. Creates a small floating starlight that illuminates surroundings. Starlight. Even during the blackest nights, sojourns underground or imprisonment in gale. The stars are never far from a sorcerer's side. There's that word again, gale, jail. I believe that's like that's also a Welsh or Old English type word. It doesn't seem to have anything particularly interesting to us, of course, since we're not an intelligence build. Glintstone Arc does look like a cool little spell, though. I could actually use the pebble because I have a one of those little goblins in the catacombs happened to drop a hat here, Imp Head Cat, which actually, if you'll see, gives you 11 intelligence from 9, gives you a +2. That would allow me to cast that one.
Back to life, of course.
Let's see what else he has. 13. So if I put 2 more in, I could get this as well. That would also give me enough with 1 more to use the horn bow, that magical bow. Pardon if my voice sounds a little weird. I had a cough drop here in my mouth. I'm trying to soothe my bad throat and lungs. Okay. Seems we have some kind of a fortification here. Now that's a bit weird. Why are Godric's soldiers out here so far to the north of his realm? Well, I guess you couldn't really say it's that far. It's right there, I guess. Strange that there was no... Did I just not sit at it? There should have been a grace point at the church there. Oh wow. Oh wow, indeed. These are some tougher ones too. That's impressive that the +3 flail is not doing him much damage, especially with it being a blunt against an armored enemy. The bleed buildup is actually quite good in this game. I like bleed effects. They're very effective. Yeah, there's definitely an HP step up here. Looks like someone threw a hunter charm at me there, trying to prevent my healing. There's a bleed out. I love the weapon art of this. It's fantastic. Glintstone Craftsman's Cookbook. There we go. Expands crafting repertoire. Cuckoo Glintstone. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following. A record of crafting techniques left by a glintstone craftsman who served the academy. Contains information on faux sorceries such as they were called. Strange. Seems as though this location is not accessible from where we are here. I figured that Liurnia would be the key to getting back here. This appears to be, and I think this is basically confirmed at this point, especially when I restarted the new character. When you start the game and you fight the grafted scion that you're scripted to lose against, if you look from where you are over, you can see Stormvale Castle's peaks and such from there. So it became pretty obvious that this is where the tutorial area takes place. However, there's nothing, there's no way to get here. There has to be like one of those teleportation stones or something, because it's clearly not accessible from within the castle. Unless that area that we haven't been to yet, where the underground of Stormvale is at, although I have zero idea of how to get there. I'm going to make sure I catch a grace point if there is one here. Seems a little strange. I don't think any of the churches so far have had a grace point. Have not had a grace point. Graveyard. I'm assuming we're going to see some undead here. Yeah. Academy scroll. Not bad. Wow. Yeah, now that we're in a new area, there's some pop in, you can tell. That appears to be that camp that we just went to, so it looks like that's actually kind of the way we should have gone then. Oh, hello. I could drop down on the right. It's a question of which way is the proper way, which way is the right way, I guess you could say. Both of them appear to lead eventually to where we would want to go. As far as I can tell, the right path would lead me down here into the forest. Which, I mean, obviously this seems to be probably the academy that he's talking about. They're saying this large facility. And then there's over here. That appears to be a very similar entrance path where we can go down and then just go through the right here into the same forest eventually. So I'm just going to continue off where we were going. Take a bit of a shortcut. I do also want to fight this boss, as well as the tree sentinel. I think we're equipped to fight the tree sentinel now. I don't know about fighting a Gil, but the tree sentinel is going down, I think. I think that's a fine sentiment. Ah, there we go. Looks like we ran into another merchant here or something too. Oh, we can use the sacred tear as well. Not that we actually needed it. Interestingly enough, I looked up the effects of Godric's Great Rune because I was pretty unsure of how exactly to use it. It just says raises all attributes. Apparently, and I think we touched on this before when I originally got the rune. There's an item known as the Rune Arc. I don't think I actually have any on this new character that I built. That says it's a piece of the Elden Ring. That is how you activate it, it says. So I'm assuming people were saying that there's no humanity or ember type system in this game, but no, that's actually what it is. The runes themselves are the embers of the game, so to speak. Raise all attributes. Basically, it's when you use a rune arc, you get a boost of 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, to all of your stats, as far as I understand. You know, like with this active, maybe you get +2 strength, +2 vigor, +2 dex, +2 to all or whatever, until you die, and then it wears off and you have to use another rune arc. Rune arcs are very rare unless you do invasions, so it does, thankfully, give you an incentive to invade, even though PvP is kind of a hot mess in the game right now with a lot of overpowered spells and weapon ashes and effects that I'm hearing about. I'm trying my best to stay away from spoilers, but it's pretty much impossible at this point. But PvP is turning into a hot mess according to a lot of people, so especially because of the fact that it's basically impossible to invade without ending up in a 1v4 or 1v5, because you'll have a guy with 2 summons and then 2 blues will be summoned in to protect you protect them when the red comes in, and it's a disaster. You know, the only way you're going to get rune arcs is to kill the host, so you're going to have to be a pretty accomplished invader in order to have any semblance of consistency when it comes to being able to use rune arcs. So I would not, as amazing as +2, +4, whatever, plus anything to every stat is, you know, what is that? How many stats are there now? 8. So a +2 would be a +16 all around the board to your stats. That's as amazing as that is. We're not going to have enough of those for this to be a constant thing.
You're new around here. Surprised you found me in my little nook. No matter, no matter. Your money's as good as anyone else's. Why don't you take a look at my wares? Oh, but don't ask me how I got my hands on them, eh?
Well, that was a bit suspicious. Lantern. Attached to waist to illuminate surroundings. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. 100 times yes. Use once to turn on and again to turn off. There are so many dark areas in this game, especially with a reshade does tend to darken things a little bit in the... It brightens the bright areas and darkens the dark areas a little bit. It gives it much more like of an HDR contrast kind of feel. So we're going to need this, because I'm getting a little bit annoyed with having to swap out weapons or shields for torches constantly. Use once to turn on and again to turn off. While its light is dimmer than that of a torch, it has the advantage of freeing up the user's hands. Exactly. Nomadic Wares Cookbook 11. Crystal Dart, Spellproof Dried Liver, and Shatter Shard Arrow. The Spellproof Liver might be useful, because we're going to be facing a lot of magic enemies, it seems, due to the fact that there's a Sorcery Academy and sorcery, not even the undead are sorcerers, sorcerer NPCs. This is seemingly the Duke's Archives of the game. Ah, the S-Stock. Large piercing sword with a long, hard bladed edge, which is also capable of slashing attacks. For its large size, it can be wielded rather nimbly, leaving little opportunity for the enemy to counter. Skill is Impaling Thrust. Lets the piercing armaments overcome enemy shields. Build power, then lunge forward for a strong thrust that pierces an enemy's guard. The Astrologer's Staff. Staff of the Astrologers. A glintstone is embedded in the tip, enabling it to be used as a catalyst for sorceries. Sorceries must be memorized first as a site of at a site of lost grace, and a staff must be equipped to cast them. All right. The Kite Shield, a standard medium-sized metal shield, reliably negates physical damage when guarding, makes them highly trusted on the battlefield. No skill. I tend to like that because it lets me use my ashes. Is there a comparison here to my current one? Usually they give you a... Maybe I'm not... This must be cap here, I'm not thinking right. 12 strength for 100 block shield. 47 guard boost. That does make it better than the heater shield for sure. Although I believe it's also technically a little bit heavier. I do like the astrologer gear, that does look nice. So that's pretty much all we're seeing here. We're seeing astrology cookbook, or sorcery cookbook, right? You know, magical cookbook. The S-Stock is probably the weapon of the astrologer, I believe. I think that makes sense. Obviously you got the astrologer staff. He has basic things like arrows, and the astrologer set, and then a shield. I mean, this is basically just astrologer get up. The lantern is what I want most, though, honestly. Let me take a look here. With 16 strength, I don't really think I want that other shield, although for only 1 more weight, significantly less weight than the brass, I can still get 47 guard boost if I did need the extra weight, especially if I'm going with the scythe. You know, I kind of do. Well, I can still roll. I'm still good. Oh, the arsenal charm. That's how I'm able to do it. This is speaking of which, this is a fascinating thing I picked up. Apologies, guys. This is a side effect of my weird perfectionism, where I just had to create a new character to perfect everything. Right. I may forget one or two small items. That's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about this. This is the blue dancer charm. A cloth doll depicting a dancer garbed in blue, an ancient heirloom of some sort. Raises attack power with lower equipment load. The dancer in blue represents a fairy, who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient god, a god that was rot itself. Makes you wonder, because there's an ailment in this game called Scarlet Rot, and it seems to be associated with the demigod Liurnia, according to Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. You know, a guy who knows all, you know, seems to be correct on this. Says he fought her rot to a standstill, Radon did. Blade in hand. And Liurnia does use a blade in the trailer, where we see her fighting Radon. Sealed away an ancient god. Perhaps she was tainted by the rot when she did that, and then Radon then saw her as a threat because the rot was spreading, and then fought her. Makes sense. A blind swordsman, though. Is the blind swordsman Liurnia? I don't know. Regardless, though, it does increase your attack power significantly by maybe like 10, 12, 15. No, excuse me. I think it increases up to about 19 points of damage. But only if you have like nothing on. You know, like if let me go here. I'm 188. Yeah. Well, that's not going to show up right because of my because I don't have the faith for it. 159, and then I yank all this off, and I'm at 173. 180, right? Yeah, so I'm up by 21 points so far, and it increases 182, you know. It goes up pretty significantly, surprisingly. But it requires so much sacrifice in weight that I just don't find it worth it, personally. I do love this armor, though. This is beautiful armor. The blue is just gorgeous, you know. As Snoop said, you wear a blue flag hanging out the backside. That's the swag here, man. Alright, I need the lantern. Let's stop goofing around. Yeah, we just get some of these. Use a couple of these. No.
Not every.
Get your lantern, bro. The S-Stock is still interesting to me, though. I am kind of interested, especially as a dexterity build. The S-Stock seems to be a cool sword. The Great EP, the very giant thrusting sword, is more of a quality, a DD, with the D being like a D plus in strength, a D minus in dex. It is really cool. Don't get me wrong, like I really do like this thing, and I've actually considered making a build with it. It's like S-Stock on steroids, you know. Has the same slashing attacks like the S-Stock. It's a very cool sword. I'm not sure where I'm going with this build, you know. I'm debating hard between Dex Faith or like Strength Faith or Quality Faith-ish, where I play more like a paladin, allowing me to use like great swords and such. Going to 16 Strength is already kind of hybridizing a little bit, especially if I two-hand things though. So it's kind of a tough, it's a tough call for me, really. I especially don't want to fall behind because of how much damage this game seems to be leaning towards with plus 25 weapon upgrades and such. Not too sure if they're going to attack me or not. I'd rather not fight them if I don't have to. Oh, nice. A side cave. I've been told that these get more complex as the game goes on. So that will be an interesting thing to find out. Let me put you actually... attach you to one of my quick slots. Not bad. It's not as good as a torch, but it still helps. It'll allow me to fight. That's the important part, I think, eh? Oh, and this is a cool little detail. When I was running back through Sorcery River, with this new character, trying to just do exactly the same things and such, I ended up coming across this spell that's an enemy in, I believe it's an enemy. It was either a pickup from a corpse or an enemy in the Sorcery River area where this is the sorcery of the Claymen, who serves as priests in the ancient dynasty. The Claymen are those like stone guys that are in the beginning of the Sorcery River well. Produces several small magical bubbles that drift towards foes before they naturally pop. Charging increases the delay before the bubble pops. The claimants search for lost oracles within their bubbles. Requires a significant amount of arcane though, so I'm not sure if that's what I'll be using very often in the future, of course. This is a good example of an enemy that the Black Flame should help, because Black Flame does appear to do fire damage. And see, it does 409 and then it boosts up to 499 once it does that damage over time. It's on fire as well. I wonder what that fire signifies. Whoa. Just embrace it. Nothing you can do about it. Whoa. Oh, those hands. It's like those babies from the... Oh, man. It's like plague babies from Demon Souls. That's like, no. Nightmare fuel. Get it. Get it. Nah. Oh, wow. Last minute slam. That was very fun, actually. Ah, crap. Oh, wow. Okay. Not sure what I'm supposed to do against that. That is, wow. It's not that I'm doing particularly weak damage or anything. I don't... Why is there no bat here? Oh, it's the next one. Something's wrong with my shield as well. Oh no, okay. No, it's not. Probably should have chosen the Heal Miracle instead of Black Flame Blade, considering I can't use either of them at the moment without the use of the flask. Why is it still going up? Oh, come on. That's ridiculous. Poison that doesn't go away when you stop standing in it? That's ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, there's that. Okay, do I have anything for poison here? I don't think I do. I don't think I have anything that helps poison. Yeah, I don't think I have any of that. Darn it. I don't have anything to cure poison. Nothing, not a darn thing. That means that this this cave is not for me. It's not gonna work out very well. Wow, that's a tough one. There's a good usage of Black Flame Blade. You really got to think out of the box to make that a decent, decent incantation. Is that an entrance or? No, it's blocked. Okay. I'm assuming the cave moss is probably the main antidote ingredient. However, there's not much to say about that. this is definitely an off-limits area for me at the moment. Alright, it's getting a little bit later in the video here. I'm going to do a couple small things here. I just wanted to show you guys the new build, do a little bit of exploring. But I also want to take my shot at this new boss here. From what I've been told, he only appears at night. So we're gonna see about that. Let me prepare myself here. I'm going to be using the scythe with the flask. Excuse me. All right. Scarlet rot buildup, bleed loss. Where's the cave moss at? Oh, that's right. That would just be in my regular inventory, right? Well, I'm sure it's... There we go. Crystal cave moss. Medicinal properties. Perfumes. Medicinal boluses. That's probably... Regular cave moss is probably the one to cure poisons. Well, I'm not too sure how this is going to work, but let's give it a whirl. See if he comes up. There he is. All right. Whoop. I have to be if I'm two-handing before I get on the horse, it gives it a two-handing effect. So that's gonna give me that extra couple points of damage. I can't. Oh, I'm not, because I'm... Ah, I see. Why can't I cast the... spell? What a cool little boss. Looks like he's not too bad either. Alright. Oh, he snagged me before I could do anything. Darn it. There, that effect is some damage, man. Scythe really does some damage. Not very hard enemy, really. I probably should have fought him earlier in this, I suppose. Well, I say that, but he probably would have been rocking my shit a couple levels ago. Get back out in the open here. Oh. Crap. Where's my shield? Why is it not do? Stop pulling my shield up. There, finally. I kept hitting left and it wasn't working. Swap to my flail because I don't have any more. Oh, I did have a boost still. Okay, well it just wore off. Perfect timing. I'll finish this on the horse, I'm scared I'm gonna get clonked. Gotcha. Ooh. Let's go. Let's get it. Ooh. Oh my god, wow. I've almost got him. It's just so wonky sometimes. Probably get him if I had a pot or something. Okay, this is ridiculous. Oh my god. Got him. Enemy felled. Ash of War Barricade Shield. Knight Rider Flail. That is it. That is the weapon. 112 plus 28 versus 127 plus 32. Obviously it's 0 versus plus 3, so it's a little bit different. C Dex and E Strength instead of DD. Which is I mean, it'll probably turn out slightly better for me, I suppose, since my dexterity is a fair bit higher. Requires 10 strength and 24 dexterity, same 50 bleed buildup. Has a little bit better defenses all around for blocking. Flail with 2 additional bludgeoning heads, weapon of the Knights Cavalry who ride funeral steeds. The large spikes make it highly effective at inducing blood loss, but also demand higher dexterity to wield. And it has the same skill of spinning chain. Weirdly enough, it actually calls it a triple flail, whereas this version here actually is only 2. Or is it 3 actually? Perhaps it's just not showing up right. Get to a place where I can see it a little bit better. No, there is a third one actually. There is a third one. I see it. It's just so hard to. Yeah, there it is. There are 3 of them. They just kind of clip into each other. I can't see anything when I'm on the horse. Yeah, there's a third one there. They all just kind of go inside of each other. It's so weird. Yeah, you can see three slices through the wind there. Wow. Triple flail. That's insane. What a cool weapon. And the top of it is actually a cross. so it fits the Templar idea. You know, this is why I wanted to start with the Confessor. I want to role play. I was really torn about it. I was like, man, I feel like I'm kind of bamboozling the viewers and myself. I said I was gonna do a wretch playthrough, but the idea of playing, I saw a video of this weapon, and I was like, oh, I gotta have it. A triple flail, a black Templar build or whatever. Like, this is so cool with the cross, and each flail is attached to a point of the cross. It's such a cool weapon. Such a cool setup. Let's go and upgrade it real quick, and then I'm gonna end the video. Actually, you know what? A weapon like this deserves to be upgraded by a real smith. Let's take it to the round table hole. Oh, Rodrika.
Good to see you again. Thank you very much. I have you to thank, don't I? For persuading Master Hugh. I can happily announce that he has taught me the noble toil of spirit tuning. I'm as yet unsure of what I might be able to accomplish, but if I might be able to help you all, I'd certainly like to try. And if there's any chance to ease the suffering of my dear men who were grafted, well, I certainly must try. Roderica, the Spirit Tune Apprentice. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Wasn't that nice? Alright. With the Spirit Tuning menu, you can spend runes, engraved loveworts, to strengthen the spirits you summon from ashes. To strengthen a named spirit, you'll need ghost gloveworts. 3 lone wolves, okay. A named spirit. So what exactly is the difference between a named spirit and a regular one? Interesting. So you can upgrade them just like you can with weapons, okay? Well, it's a fascinating little detail.
Now, look at you. Those eyes tell a story of a challenger who's felled his mark. Fine and well. Now lay out your arms.
Appears they've been telling stories about the defeat of Godric
I
around
spoke
here.
with the girl. She has a gift for spirit tuning. So I told her everything I know. I'm indebted to a spirit tuner I met long ago. It was all I could do to honor her. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Well, that was nice of him to say. Knight Rider Flail. We got plenty of smithing stones at 29 after I ran through the tunnels and such, farming the stones there. So I could definitely upgrade this. 118 plus 30. And it goes to 124 plus 32. Plus 3, we're going to have 131 plus 34. Let's see how that compares. 127 plus 32, 131 plus 34. So an extra 6 damage. An extra 2 from the dexterity scaling, and an extra 4 from the base damage. I am a little bit... You would think that this would have slightly higher bleed buildup, which, I mean, it's not unheard of for weapons to have higher bleed buildup. For example, the scythe, the wing scythe, is a 55 bleed buildup. I mean, I get it, though. It's a sacred scythe with angelic wings and that, you know, kind of like the Angel of Death scythe or something. That makes sense. But this is still one heck of a weapon, you know, with 3 heads on it. Lovely tool, though. We'll see. That's going to give us some extra damage here. 166 instead of 159. I don't think we're going to get as much of a boost from two-handing it, though. Unfortunately. Let's take a look here. Maybe that extra 6 damage will do something. an extra upgrade, you know, always tends to give you that little bit of oomph you need. Alright, two-handing, we're going 166 to 169. Then we're going 159 to 165. So two-handing, they're actually not so different, frankly, then. It's only a 4 difference with the two-handing. However, for one-handed, it's actually 7, yeah, 7 damage. Yeah. And the scythe is still a fantastic weapon. I just need to get the faith for it. And now that I'm at 1624, I really think that would be a wrong move to put anything else into strength or dex until I find a specific weapon that I like that I'll push into. So I'm thinking that faith is the main thing to go for here. That said, I actually think let's extend this a little bit longer. Let's make this a double. Let's make this the triple crown here, right? Let's take down another horse. Who also seems to have a weapon that I would really love to have. To be. Would that work now? There we go. Now I can at least cast Black Flame. Wow, nice. Oh, hello. Oh no, 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 no. Ah. Bad try there, got caught up a little bit much. I want to see the difference in damage between these two weapons, the scythe and the new flail, but crap. That menu really got me. That's not what I meant to do. Man, I cannot do horse combat. $116. Alright, this is not. This is not what I'm trying to do. Damn it. Significantly harder than the first fight. By a long shot. And once you're off your horse, that's not good. Okay, he definitely has some kind of a resistance to holy damage, because even the buff is not doing a lot. kidding me? That's crooked, man. That's freaking crooked. Yeah, I knows that you're gonna be shooting magic at them and you're gonna purposely... Keeps stopping me. It keeps chewing my FP for. Jeez. Oh, come off it. What a cheesy boss. He blocks all magic. I'm not, you know, I'm not even gonna fight him. I'm just, kill me. Just take me. I don't even wanna fight you anymore. That feels so unfair. Literally just makes me lose all enjoyment of that fight. Like, what do you mean? You can tell I'm fighting, you can tell I'm shooting magic, and you're just gonna hard block it? What the? Like, no, it's not unfair, but it just really feels like it. I really am pussing out here for some reason. I'm just like, no, screw this guy. That's not fair. Can't believe he did that. Just pulled out a magic block. And then blows it right back at you like he's Nell shooting Noritora in Bleach with shooting his own Sarrow back at him. Like, what? Oh, and he never gives me time to charge this. Screw this guy. You can't get anywhere. He always catches you. Wow, this fight, dude. Screw this fight. And it misses. Holy crap, that sucks. I see why people were raging against this guy. This is... At this point in the game, I should not be having this much trouble with this. Whoa. Oh, you little... Screw you, dude. Good. Oh, come on. Oh, you cheater. Oh, I hate you. Wow, that move just pisses me off, dude. That should not have hit me. Whoa. Come on now. FromSoft is definitely putting delayed attacks in this game like all over the place. That's their new trick. It's like Dark Souls 2. We're gonna put a bunch of enemies here, like... It's like the equivalent of Dark Souls 2 just spamming enemies in groups. Okay, I think I got him here. I think we got him. Last charge. For Elden. Oh. Torrent. Alright. Sorry guys, I clocked out on that when I went full casual. I just could not get over how he could do that to me. I was like, wow, how can he be doing that right now? It's like he just knew as soon as you started to use magic, he's like, nope, block. I'm just gonna fire that right back at you. That was so cool, but so infuriating. I was like, you little cheater. Golden halberd. Let's check this thing out. Weighty halberd, forged of gold, wielded by the Order of Tree Sentinels, heavily equipped knights. Deals holy damage. Oh, another faith weapon. Nice. A masterfully crafted weapon that lives up to its heft, but is difficult for one of mere human strength to wield. Skill, Golden Vow. Skill passed down from antiquity among the knights of the capital. Raise armament aloft and pledge to honor the Erd Tree in battle, granting self and nearby allies attack power and defense. Alright, so what are we looking at here? D strength, E dex, and D faith. 30 strength requirement though. Whew. 14 dex and 12 faith. We definitely meet the others, but I would need 20 strength to even two-hand this. I'm debating it though. I mean, I'm thinking about it. That's one nice weapon. Damn it, but I wish they could shrink it a little. That's what they did with the, if you'll notice with the Knight Rider flail, that thing is a lot smaller than the one that the Horseman had. That thing was, you know, the equivalent to how a flail would be, a one-handed flail would be versus this, right? You know, the pole was like twice as long. Lovely weapon, though. It's just too big. That's the only thing. If they had like a 75% size replica of this, you know, like maybe make it like 75-80% of the size it is now, just a little smaller, you know, without this giant heft of a honking hexagon at the back, you know, and this huge, oh, it'd be so cool. Because I really am kind of leaning towards like that paladin kind of style. I'm thinking of making a like a dark Templar, kind of like a paladin gone wrong, you know, that goes to the dark, because you have these dark incantations and stuff, you know, very fitting. But at least we have one weapon we can definitely use here in the flail. That thing is wonderful, an amazing weapon. I wonder how this looks with the weapon art actually. Oh wow, wow. This really reminds me of the Kusarigama from Neo. Very powerful combo where you can just spin it like that. And apparently this is actually really useful against invaders and such. What is this? Woven Room. Why? Did the martyr here drop one? Like, what is... I don't recall if I ever got it on footage, which is actually a shame. I probably should have. Oh, there's another one in here, but it's kind of too late now. You could always do it on a different character, but if you try to run from him on foot and hide in here, he actually started attacking the church, breaking the walls, and like the walls and pillars started to crumble around me and fall and hit me and do damage to me, and then he breaks down, I think it's this wall right here. He actually breaks down the wall, bursts into the room like the mother effing Kool-Aid man, and then proceeds to just kick me into next Wednesday. One of the most epic moments I've ever seen in any game. Hilarious. He just knocked me into the air like the giant in Skyrim. blasted through that door at me. It was so cool. I wish I could have it replicated. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it wasn't on footage. Anyway, it's definitely been too long for this video at this point. Definitely been too long. I think we've been here for an hour and a half now. Wasn't even keeping track. We've been having some fun here. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.